All right, good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Shiva Ayurveda. It is close to 10 p.m. Hope everyone's doing well. We're going to be, as I mentioned, starting October, we're going to be doing a lot of videos, really bringing people up to date on a systems approach to health. As many of you know, at truthfreedomhealth.com, we're dedicated to taking a systems approach to health. And as a part of that journey, what we want to do is to recognize that health, if you look at truth, freedom, and health, all three are important, but health, I would say if you had to choose one of them, is extremely important, because without health, you don't have the strength or the wherewithal, the mental or the physical health to really fight for freedom, nor to pursue science, truth. So we want to really educate people that the systems approach can be definitively applied to health. But one of the key things that I want to talk about today is that a lot of my work has been focused on really discovering what I call the science of everything. And that science is what we're going to focus on today, because it may seem like I'm being hyperbolic by saying that what I've uncovered is the science of everything, but I have. And I want to share that with as many people as possible, because that science of everything can be used to understand your health your body as a system, everything around you as a system, and every aspect of life. And it's something that I believe that we should master, every individual should master, because it'll really liberate you. So I want to walk through that journey that I took, and we're not going to have a chance to cover all the details, obviously, today, but I want to cover the fundamentals of it, so all of you have a chance to really understand what's going on. So that's what we're going to cover today. And as a part of that coverage, we're going to begin with really understanding the systems approach to health and well-being. Okay, and so the title of today's talk is let me just adjust people here so they're okay. I have people also on Instagram. We have to make sure they're doing okay. But today we're going to really understand the science of everything, okay? And what is the science of everything? And those of you who want to know the different journeys that let me just go back to the beginning. Sorry about this. Started in the last part. Is that if you go to vashiva.com, you'll get this deeper understanding of all the different places that systems approaches can be used. So I encourage you to do that. I want to play for you a video very quickly that will really give you my journey to the science of everything, or to the science of systems. So let me just play that, and here we go. Welcome to VA Shiva. VA Shiva is a product of my journey across East and West, science and tradition, ancient and modern, that brings you the science of systems so you can become a force for truth, freedom, health. VA Shiva is a platform of revolutionary education, community building, and weaponry for unleashing local activism. My journey to VA Shiva begins in the chaos of Bombay, where I experienced diverse religions, languages, castes, and in a small village that had no running water, no electricity, where my grandmother, a poor village farmer, practiced Siddha, an ancient system of Indian medicine over 10,000 years old. She observed one's face, the art of Samudrika Lakshanam, to understand a body's unique constitution, allowing her to deliver the right medicine for the right person at the right time. Watching my grandmother heal others, I was inspired to study medicine, but I was also aware of the corrupt caste system of India, which denigrated a human being, where my family were considered low-caste untouchables, where one's birth determined one's destiny. The grit and determination of my mother and father led them to get educated and to come to America, a 1 in a trillion event. Their actions inspired me to work hard and excel. While in 9th grade, I attended New York University in a computer science program, and subsequently, at the age of 14, was given a full-time job as a research fellow at what is now known as Rutgers Medical School in the heart of Newark, New Jersey. There I investigated the system of sleep, using mathematics, computer science, and biology for sudden infant death syndrome. It was there in Newark where I invented email, when I was the first to convert every feature of the physical, paper-based inter-office mail system, including inbox, outbox, memo, carbon copy, blind carbon copy, attachments into its electronic equivalent, a system which I named email, a term that I was the first to coin. On August 30th, 1982, I was awarded the first U.S. copyright for the invention of this system, recognizing me as the inventor of email. At that time, copyright was the only way to protect software inventions. I went on to MIT, where I earned 4 degrees across multiple systems of engineering: electrical, mechanical, design, biological. That training led me to invent many other systems for advancing humankind. EchoMail, the world's first intelligent email management system. Cytosolve, a computational biology system for eliminating animal testing to discover new medicines faster, cheaper, and safer. And to the creation of a whole systems methodology for certifying clean food. These innovations led me back on a Fulbright to India, where I discovered the missing link between Eastern medicine and Western systems theory, honoring my grandmother, to develop Your Body, Your System, a powerful tool that will help you understand how your body is a system and how the inputs of food, supplements, and exercise bring your body back to its natural system state. And Systems Health, an integrative educational discipline that is now integrated into the VA Shiva platform that will enable you to learn the science of systems, the science of everything, be it your body as a system or our society and politics as a system, to reveal the foundational interrelationships between truth, freedom, health. Now is the time for you to be the light, learn the science of systems, build community, and weaponize yourself to unleash the activism necessary to deliver truth, freedom, health in your local community. Welcome to VA Shiva.
All right, everyone. I hope that was helpful. So the reason I wanted to share that with you is that there's a journey that I took to really unraveling this knowledge of systems. And the banner you see behind me is a program that we used to offer. Let me just put this, for many, many years before we actually even began Truth, Freedom, and Health. And it was a program to really help people understand system science. And here in our center in Cambridge and all over the world at MIT, Harvard, at many, many places, we used to teach this science of systems. And we taught it to MDs, we taught it to nurses, we taught it to chiropractors, but we taught it to many, many people who were from the Eastern tradition of medicine as well as the Western tradition of medicine. And just to give you a background, I want to sort of walk you through how I came to this. And that video gives a little bit, but I'm going to walk you through a little bit more details so you really start appreciating where all of this came from. And I think it'll help you understand why I'm so committed to making sure we can teach as many people in the world the science of systems. So let me just go back here and bring up this so everyone can see this. So if you go to truthfreedomhealth.com, which you can do at some point, you will find on truthfreedomhealth.com this diagram. And this diagram itself is a system. And what I mean by that is there are 12 aspects of truthfreedomhealth.com. At 12 o'clock, you see one of the important aspects is the Foundations of Systems course. Well, that Foundations of Systems course is where everything begins. And where did I come to this? And I really believe that the Foundations of Systems course is really the science of everything. And I recommend everyone every Thursdays at 11 a.m. EDT or 8 p.m. EDT or EST, same thing. You're welcome to come to the open house and you can RSVP at vashiva.com/orientation. But what we really want to talk about is that if you look at the current forces of power, profit, and control, which are what really rule the world right now, those forces, although many people have access to tons and tons of information, all sorts of health information, right? You can get access to billions of videos on eat this, eat that, do this diet, do that diet, and so on. And all of those diets, unfortunately, the problem with many of those diets is they do not really give you a aspect. By the way, I just want to ask people if they're hearing any crackling sound. Are people all right? Hey, Ken, are you hearing a crackling sound? No. Okay, good. There's no crackling sound? All right. So what I want to let everyone know is that the current system of power, profit, and control is basically feeds people lots and lots of information, but it approaches, or it wants you to approach all that information through ignorance. And ignorance is really not seeing the whole. So if you think about, you walk into a room and there's a human being, and you just think their arms are that human being, or their legs are the human being, or their torso is a human being, and so on. The aspect of ignorance, the definition of ignorance, is not seeing the whole. It's only seeing a piece of it. That ignorance leads people to illusion. And that illusion leads people to confusion. And this confusion is a way of either dividing people into left or right, pro or anti, eat this, don't eat that, right? Or desperation, where people get so tired of stuff, they just want to go do something awful, like, do harm to themselves or other people, or take some terrorist action. Or the other extreme, complacency. People say, I'm just going to give up. I'm just going to go off the grid. Okay, I'm just going to take care of my little world. So the aspect of ignorance is what disables people from seeing things as they are. All right. So that's a very, very important thing to understand. The forces of power, profit, and control, they want you to be in ignorance. That's what ignorance is. The opposite of that is knowledge. Knowledge is what leads you to wisdom. So it's a very, very important piece here. Knowledge is what the science of systems, or the science of everything, can do. And I just can't overemphasize that those in power and their advisors, the Atlantic Council, the Condoleezza Rice's, the Henry Kissinger's, the Zbigniew Brzezinski's, the people who advise those in power, have knowledge of the science of systems. And through that knowledge, they're able to have wisdom and clarity, but they don't use it to free human beings. They don't use it for liberation. They use it for subjugation. They use it for enslavement. They use it for manipulation. I was fortunate to learn the engineering aspect of it, and I'm going to share with you shortly, be able to, through my own research, through my Fulbright research, interconnect that with ancient and traditional systems of knowledge and develop what I call systems health. And that foundational base allows us to really understand everything as a system. Now, that knowledge, those in power do not want everyday people, working people, to have access to that knowledge. My commitment, because of, as you saw the video, what I heard from, came out of the recognition that that science of systems, that knowledge, needs to be made aware to as many people who want to really understand it, who want to awaken themselves. So that's what Truth, Freedom, and Health is. Truth, Freedom, and Health fundamentally is that system of knowledge. And that system of knowledge allows us, for the first time in human history, for any human being to, as I go through here, to start with this foundations of systems. There's books and papers and all this stuff that you get access to. But through that, you can learn how to liberate yourself. You can be your own guru, okay? So that's what I mean by this knowledge. Knowledge is different than information, because information doesn't ensure that you get to wisdom, because if you are in this world of ignorance, you're going to get to illusion. But knowledge is understanding the whole. And that knowledge leads you to wisdom. Wisdom leads you to clarity. And clarity leads you to start thinking about solutions. It leads you out of desperation, leads you to become an activist and organized. Okay? So I just want to lay down sort of the larger framework here. The goal here is for each one of you to become your own teacher, your own guru, your own master. But you're not going to get there without understanding the science of systems. Those in power know the science of systems. Okay? And hey, I'm going to disable this thing. I think this thing's causing a lot of crackling. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to disable this thing. I wanted to. Let's turn this lower. There. The crackling is gone. Okay. So that's what I want to do today, is to inspire you guys a little bit deeper. You know, I play the video, but I wanted to really inspire all of you to really understand this. So where did all of this come from? Well, if those of you want to understand this, in 2007, you know, I finished my PhD at MIT in a field called systems biology. And when I finished that, you know, I had now 4 degrees from MIT and all the credentials to now push the envelope and want to go, and I wanted to go explore back to India how my grandmother in that village was able to look at someone's face and figure out what was going on inside their body, and then figure out what was the right medicine for them. And everyone was treated as a unique human being, the right medicine for the right person at the right time. And my grandmother had no degrees. Okay, she was a poor village farmer. And so I was very curious, how was this woman who had no degrees, I saw her empirically heal people, and she was using a system of knowledge that had existed for tens of thousands of years. Now, if you share that with the average, you know, Harvard, MD, PhD, they'll laugh at you. They'll say, oh, that woman didn't know what she was doing. It's just sort of garbage medicine, right? Their medicine was much better. So I wanted to really, you know, objectively understand this. So in 2007 and 8, I applied for a Fulbright scholarship, and I was very fortunate to get one. And that took me on a 2-year journey back to India. And I traveled all over India. I really wanted to understand how this woman was able to do this, okay? And by the way, to people, I've turned off that back end crackling, so you shouldn't hear it anymore. So where did that lead me? Well, that led me to discover that the ancient systems of Indian yoga, or Siddha, or Ayurveda, some of you may know, and they use a whole language to describe the body there. And I was able to, and there's about 9 principles that I uncovered out of that. And I uncovered those same 9 principles also occur in engineering systems theory. Fascinating, which is what I learned at MIT over 20 years. And then more recently, when I ran for office and electoral politics, I was able to intersect that with political theory. So what I had uncovered was that there's this foundational set of universal laws on how your body works, how an airplane works, how your thermostat works, how everything in the universe works. And it all runs by these 9 principles. And when I came back from my Fulbright, I went to the head of the Department of MIT of Biological Engineering, Doug Laufenberg, and I said, Doug, I think I've really figured out something that can help the Western scientists and medical people appreciate the Eastern systems of knowledge, and those Eastern systems of people, the yoga teachers and naturopathic chiropractors, who frankly don't know how to really convey any of this knowledge because they don't really know. They just sort of do stuff, but they don't know why it works. I figured out where they can communicate that to the West, integrating East and West. So I ended up teaching a course at MIT, a lecture series, and we used to teach it 3 hours every Thursdays. You know, 200 people used to show up. And in this big auditorium at MIT, one side of the room was filled with your MDs, PhDs wearing their lab coats and, you know, looking like the nerds or looking like the professors. And the other side of the room, people showed up who were chiropractors, naturopaths. It was called systems biology and traditional medicine. And it was fascinating because the people on the right side, who were the quote unquote woo-woo people, felt that the people on the left side were very arrogant. They didn't understand them. And the people on the left side were wondering why were these people in an MIT lecture hall? Okay. And within about a couple of hours, I shared with them the discovery I'd made, the language that anyone could understand, and all the guard went down. And I literally created or discovered the science of systems, the science of everything. And that journey is an important one because that resulted in me, took me a while to write this. I ended up writing a paper on all of this. Because in science, you got to publish it or no one believes you've actually done anything. It's sort of the gauntlet that they put you through, okay? So I knew that the medical journals would never publish this, the conventional medical journals. I knew I didn't want to publish it in the woo-woo journals because it wouldn't have the gravitas. So I went and published it in a engineering journal, and it was called the Systems of Systems Engineering Journal. And here it is. And the paper basically, it was called the Control Systems Engineering Foundation of Traditional Indian Medicine, the Rosetta Stone for Siddha and Ayurveda. Now, why did I call it the Rosetta Stone? Some of you may know Napoleon, in Egypt discovered this thing called the Rosetta Stone, which is in the British Library. And people were, at that time, were unable to decipher hieroglyphics to, Greek. But they had found this Rosetta Stone. It was a speech, I believe, by a guy called Ptolemy, an emperor, if I remember right. And one part of the Rosetta Stone had the speech in hieroglyphics. Another had it, I think, in ancient Greek, and then in modern Greek. And using that, they were able to decipher hieroglyphics. So it was a major breakthrough. So what I had discovered was a similar Rosetta Stone that you could figure out what these traditional systems of medicines were actually saying, what they were really about. And so that led to me publishing this paper called the Control Systems Engineering Foundation of Medicine. Now, let me give you sort of if you went to MIT and you got a PhD in biological engineering or biology, you would learn the body from this standpoint, okay? So if you were to speak in this language of genes and proteins and messenger RNA and metabolites, and so that's at the bottom layer, and then those build up to what are called metabolic pathways, all these things interacting. Those end up relating to what are called functional modules, different functions in your body, which relate and then which put together create the whole human being or the organism, okay? It's sort of the biology, it's called the pyramid of life, okay? So this is a language that if you spoke in this language, people say, oh yeah, he's a scientist. Oh yeah, he's one of us, okay? This world over here, okay? So you would, understand, you would, in the world of Western science, this is, if you use these words, you're considered a respectable scientist, all right? All right. In the world of Eastern medicine, which my grandmother practiced, they have a very different way of looking at the world, okay? And the problem is, and I want to make this, all these gurus who grow their beards out, wear the turbans, and put on their saffron robes, these guys basically use these words, but they don't even know what they're actually talking about. And this has been going on for far too long. This guy Sadhguru or Deepak Chopra or all these guys, they may be nice guys, that's irrelevant, but they will charge, $10,000 or whatever at their ashrams, and they'll say Purusha, Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, and the Panchabhutas, and they'll say Vata, Pitta, Kapha, right? Or Chakras, right? And these words are words that the Western world looks at and they go, what are these guys talking about? They're just talking a bunch of hocus pocus. And some of these gurus will hang around the Hollywood people, and the Hollywood people want to hang around gurus, and you have this ridiculous, incestuous nonsense that takes place. It's all entertainment. A lot of money is being made, but no one really understands what the fuck they're saying, okay? And this garbage has been going on way too long, all right? But this is the system of 10,000 years old of Indian medicine. And in that world, you start with Purusha, which is the void, where nothing existed, which gave rise to nature, where everything exists, okay? Subtle aspects, which are called the energies, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, which then congealed into the Panchabhuta, space, air, fire, water, and earth, which then further reflected themselves in three doshas, tri-doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, which were basically the foundations of controlling all your organs, your tissues, your senses, your emotions, right? Everything you do, which then control the human body, the koshas, and the chakras. Now, what are the koshas and the chakras? In the Indian system of medicine, you not only have the physical body, but you have other subtle bodies. Those are called the koshas, and you have these chakras. Anyway, so this world is the world that my grandmother knew. Well, this is a world, and I was fortunate to be able to learn that from her, but I also learned this world. So I had been fortunate to learn both these worlds, right? The system of Eastern medicine, Western medicine, and the system of Eastern medicine. The problem is that these people believe their system is the only thing. There are people who practice this, but they really can't explain it. So that's why in the United States, or for the world, yoga took off. Nearly 30, 40 million people in the United States practice yoga, for that matter, in the world. Yoga was something you physically do. But the system of Indian medicine, Siddha, which is in the South, or Ayurveda, never really took off. Maybe in the United States, around a couple 100,000 people know it. Okay? Why is that? Because the Siddha system, this slide that I just shared with you, if in this system of Indian medicine, the practitioner looks at your face, may look at your eyes, iridology, may look at your pulse, may look at your tongue, may look at your urine, your feces. They have very different diagnosis methods. And based on looking at that, they will figure out what kind of body type you are. Okay, it is called your constitution. And they would say you're either a Vata body type. Let me go back to this. It is in this orange area, Vata, Pitta, or Kapha. Okay. Someone says, I've been trying to sign up for the systems education, but unfortunately my email and password. Someone will help you. I think Heather or someone will help you. But anyway, so they figure out your body type, and then they call that the prakriti of your body. And then they'll say you have a disturbance. And then they'll try to figure out how to use food and exercise, yoga to bring you back. Okay. Now, if you ask them, hey, Indian practitioner with the yoga and the beard and the headdress, who just charged me $2,500, okay, what is Vata, Pitta, Kapha? Well, they'll say, well, it is this and that, and you have to meditate, and then I will tell you what it is going on. Okay, please pay at the door. They're not able to explain to you what is Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Deepak Chopra did this for 20 years, 30 years, and then he went off into the world of trying to become a guru. Well, I was able to figure out what this actually was. And that resulted in the course I built. And then we literally realized that we had literally created a whole way of educating people on the body as a system. For that matter, everything. And then when I entered politics, electorally, we also decided I figured out how to relate it to politics. So we literally have figured out the science of everything. So in many ways, what I wanted to do was understand both these worlds. So on one hand, you have the world of the West, and the other hand, you have the world of the East. Now, if they're both looking at the body, obviously, there has to be some commonality. And if we could do this, then we could bridge East and West. Okay? And that was my goal. And so in 2007 and 8 and 9, I was, as I mentioned to you guys earlier, I applied for a Fulbright. And this front page article appeared on the MIT administration's front page. It was a feature article. It was quite, MIT thought it was quite interesting. This is in 2007. Why would a guy with all these degrees want to go back to India, to the villages, to travel into the ashrams and so on and really understand Eastern systems of medicine? He could just stay in Cambridge and make a ton of money starting his next company. So they featured this on the front page of MIT because they found it quite interesting that I wanted to go back to India. All right. And what happened, as I mentioned earlier, was when I went back, I came back and I wrote this paper. And what I had discovered was that I was able to interrelate the engineering systems that I learned for 20 years. If you take an engineering course at MIT, a control systems course, you will understand every system in the universe is composed of these 5 elements, okay? Input and output, right? You eat something, you urinate or you defecate, or you sweat, you get energy, right? Input and output. And in general systems theory, there are three phenomena: movement of information, matter, and energy, transport, conversion, converting things from one form to the other, and storage, the element that stores it. I'm not going to get into the details because I want to inspire all you guys to go to Truth, Freedom, and Health and become a part of this community. But these are the 5 elements of every simple system. And if you take an advanced engineering course, you will then find out that there's something called a control system. You see, the input, output, it's here, but a control system has a goal. And the goal is achieved when the output over here equals the goal, right? When the output equals the goal, then you've achieved the goal. And how do you achieve the goal? Well, you as a controller will input stuff. You'll observe what's going on. It's called a feedback system. And through this iterative process, you will finally achieve your goal. It could be you want to lose weight, you want to make money, whatever it is, anything, everything in the universe follows this, any intelligence system in the face of a disturbance, okay? Again, I'm not going to go into the details, but the key thing I want to let you know is this is called an open system and this is called an intelligence system in the world of engineering systems. And the reason I'm sharing this with this is that everyone who studies engineering, control systems engineering, understands that, okay? And there, again, are these 9 principles of what we call intelligent systems. All right. Then, Eastern systems of medicine have a different language that I uncovered and that I was able to relate, put it into this diagram. They have words like karma and karma fall. Karma is actually action, right action, and karma fall. Fall is a fruit of action. And they have words like vata, pitta, kapha. And what I uncovered was vata has to do with all things motion, pitta, conversion, and kapha, storage. And when you connect it with the Indian systems of yoga, they have a thing called sankalpa, which is your mission in life. Manas are your mind. Indriyas are your senses, your 5 senses. And vikaras are the disturbances that come in the way of achieving your mission in life. So when I put this together, what I had uncovered was what I learned at MIT, or what's taught in the Western world, these 9 elements match 1-to-1 with the Indian system of medicine. So think about what I uncovered. I uncovered a way to bridge East and West. And no one had done this before. Because the problem is the world of Indian medicine lived in this world, and the world over here of engineering systems lived here. People here think they know everything. People here know a lot of things, but they're not able to explain it. So everything became woo-woo, right? People put the headdress on, the beard, and put their saffron robes and talk like this and very slow and meditate and karma and all that, namaste, etc. Okay? So what I had uncovered was truly the science of everything. And that led, if you want to say it in a very simple way, to recognize, again, I'm sharing 3 of the 9 principles here, that everything in the universe is composed of transport, conversion, storage. Transport, conversion, storage. You think about everything in the universe: transport, movement, okay? The wind, the highway systems for moving cars, right? Bowel movement, okay? The movement of information. Conversion, the aspect of converting one thing to another. Digestion is a conversion process, okay? You listening to me right now and cognizing it, that's a conversion process. The scientific method is a conversion process. Truth is a conversion process. You get a bunch of ideas, you convert it. Storage, structure, your bones and your skin, the structural housing of your building, right? These 3 things occur everywhere, okay? And these are 3 of the 9 principles, by the way. And in the Indian system, it's vata, pitta, and kapha. So I've color-coded it here. So it's basically transport is vata, conversion is pitta, and storage is kapha. Now, when you start looking at politics and society, you'll find out that freedom is completely the same as transport and vata. Freedom is the movement of information, matter, and energy. If you have censorship, you stop freedom. Truth is actually a conversion process because you're throwing out ideas and then you come to an understanding of truth, and truth keeps getting refined. And then health is the structural element which you need to get to truth and freedom, which is the same as kapha and storage and structure. So what I have uncovered here is these three principles span engineering systems, medical systems, political systems. And then what I ended up doing, took me another about several years to put this together, a long 20-year journey. I created a tool called Your Body, Your System. And this tool allows you now to answer, with the help of friends or yourself, if you're being honest, a series of 30 questions. It will help you figure out what my grandmother used to do, what is called your system type within this triangle of transport, conversion, and storage. And then you can figure out how your body is disturbed, which is a black dot. And this tool will calculate for you the foods, the supplements, and the exercises that manipulate those forces. And it gives you an educational tool to understand how the concept of diet, following this diet or that diet, is completely stupid. It's another racket. But every body is a unique system. Understand what kind of system you are, and then figure out how particular foods manipulate those three forces: transport, conversion, storage, vata, pitta, kapha. I had essentially deciphered the Indian systems of medicine, advanced engineering systems to see the body as a system, and then interconnected to politics. And that is really the science of everything. And all of this, is included as a core foundational course in Truth, Freedom, and Health. So that's where we're coming from. So at 12 o'clock, you see Truth, Freedom, and Health. I put together books. And by the way, just to hopefully, everyone, money is sort of the key measuring of many things, but, I used to teach that course for tens of thousands of dollars all over the world. MIT students pay a lot of money, but I've included that entire course now in the Truth, Freedom, and Health platform. We included books and papers, so you don't have to go buy them on Amazon. We included the Your Body, Your System tool. We included Cytosolve. We include events and lectures, Systems Health, which is a tool that you can teach this to others, and so on. A whole community has grown out of this, and a whole bunch of other tools that you can interact with other people independent of big tech. So fundamentally, what started off as this kernel of curiosity, why my grandmother is able to look at the face and understand your body as a system, has now blossomed into the entire Truth, Freedom, and Health movement. And you can see behind me, it says, VA Shiva, Systems Health, educating leaders to ignite a systems revolution for truth, freedom, and health. The idea is each one of you can be a systems revolutionary. In the book Systems and Revolution, I educate you on what is a system and what is revolution. Okay? So that is what I've uncovered. This is truly the science of everything. But that science you can use, to help your body as a system. You can get healthier. You can really start becoming your own healer, your own guru. And a lot of gurus are not going to like this because they're going to be out of business, which is a good thing, I think, because it puts more accountability and self-respect in your hands. The other thing is you're going to get access to a whole community of people all over the world. Some of them are on this stream here. And then you get access to technology like the Your Body, Your System tool. So my intention here is to make this accessible to all people. When I gave this away for free, we sold lectures, no one showed up. You can't charge tens of thousands of dollars for working people. So we said, look, give $100 a year and you get access to all this. And if you take the course and you learn the science of everything, we want you to educate as many other people as possible. Okay? But this foundational science, you can use it for your body. You can use it to understand how your thermostat works, how your airplane works, your car works, how everything works. You can also use it to understand how political systems work. And it is that knowledge that has helped all of you start to see, was our movement, which called out the so-called pandemic, right when the nonsense right in 2019. It was this movement that exposed the issues with the election systems. It was this movement that exposed a collusion between government and big tech. These are profound things, but this wisdom comes from the science of everything. Systems Health is where it originated from. So I want all of you, if you don't care about politics, if you don't care about engineering, but if you care about your body, go to Truth, Freedom, and Health. contribute. If you don't even want to do it for yourself, contribute to this movement. Everything you're seeing tonight is built bottoms up. We have close to, let me just take you to the website here. I think I have it teed up here. If you go to truthfreedomhealth.com, let me go there. You'll find out that we just launched this website recently. You'll see the generosity that that's reflected here, because we're giving everyone a lot of things. And the slogan is get educated or be enslaved. You get the course, you get the papers, you get the tool, you get to understand how food is a system. There's many, many special lectures. We hold private lectures you get to attend. You get to use the Systems Health platform to educate others. I do a lot of one-on-one/one-on-manys. We have the entire community. And then we want you to get on the ground and also be an activist and educate others. And then we have an equivalent of Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, independent of big tech. So I want you to we have over 360,000 people now who are using the system in 95 countries. You'll hear incredible stories of how people have changed their lives. You'll also get an opportunity to understand that we are actually solving this problem, as I mentioned, of ignorance, leading people to wisdom. And that wisdom is going to make you a much more vibrant human being, healthier human being, etc. But you have to be ready to go the old system and be willing to learn the science of systems, the science of everything. So anyway, this knowledge has not existed ever before in humanity. It's organized for you. But I hope you understand that I'm going to be doing a lot. I used to do probably 80% of videos on politics and social. We'll still try to do that in the mornings. But we're going to do a lot of videos to inspire all of you to become your own gurus, okay? Become your own teachers, become your own healers. It's really important that you understand this body is a system. Because if you're not healthy, you don't have the wherewithal to fight for freedom. If you're not healthy, you don't have the wherewithal to really seek truth. So you got to take care of your body. And taking care of the body goes way beyond diets. Taking care of the body goes to understanding these three forces of nature that exist in you, finding out what's right for you. What's right for you may not be right for someone else. What's right for you today may not be right for you tomorrow. Okay? So as your body, your system web, I think, let me go to it. The tool shares, it's about, let me go to it took a while to really come up with this statement here. Let me share that with you. It's a very powerful statement here, as you'll see. Oops, what am I doing here? Sorry about that. Let me share the screen here. Wrong one. You'll see right here, there's a cover statement which said, health begins with knowing the unique you. Your body is a unique system that needs the right inputs for the right conditions. Use this tool to know the unique you on your journey to real health and to understand the principles of all systems. And just to give you an idea, we used to charge hundreds of dollars just for the tool. It's all included free in Truth Freedom Health. So go to truthfreedomhealth.com. You can use this knowledge to just learn. You can use it to, get educated so you're not enslaved. You can use it to understand your body's system. You can use it to join a community. You can use it for many things. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, that we have uncovered the science of everything, but more importantly, we've made it accessible to all people. And by the way, the same science of systems, it can be applied to everything. It's the foundations of the tool that I created called Cytosolve. I want to encourage all of you to go to truthfreedomhealth.com. You can contribute. And when you contribute, just want to give you we give you many gifts. If you contribute 100 more, you get all those tools. You get 15 different gifts. So you can learn the science of everything. You get books, you get community, you get access to many things. If that's too much, donate whatever you can. If you donate $25 to $99, then you get access to 6 other gifts, including the Your Body, Your System tool. Okay? So you get that in books. And then if you can't donate anything, you get access to the paper still and videos, etc. So I want to encourage you all to do that. The other thing I want to mention before I go is that the science of systems can be applied at every level, at the macro level of the universe, at the societal level, at the physical level, and also at the molecular level. the technology Cytosolve that I created goes at the molecular level, and without killing animals, we're able to discover new medicines that come from nature. And one of the medicines that we uncovered, where we modeled all the molecular pathways of pain and inflammation, the whole system, and we tested many, many different bioflavonoids, we were able to discover combinations. One of the big things in nature is called synergy. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. And we're able to discover very powerful combinations of bioflavonoids, which have profound effects on your body. So I want to just quickly sort of play you this video on Cytosolve, and you'll see that systems principles can be applied to the universe, to society, but we can apply it at the molecular level, but ultimately system science can be used to discover solutions. Truth, freedom, and health is a solution. We discovered the solutions to election systems. We discovered the solutions to really supporting your immune system. We discovered the solution of how we actually, fight the collusion of big tech and government, right? So it can be applied at many levels, but one of the solutions we discovered was how to understand inflammation in the body. And we literally discovered a combination. Let me play this for you.
Who would have ever thought someone like me would invent email and create Cytosolve to revolutionize health for personalized and precision medicine, a system for delivering the right medicine for the right person at the right time? I was born a low-caste untouchable in India's caste system, a system of aristocracy, oppression, and racism. As a child, I observed my grandmother, a poor village farmer, practice Siddha, India's oldest system of medicine, to heal local villagers by observing their face, to know their unique constitution, to deliver a unique combination of foods, healing herbs, and massage. The caste system and her abilities to heal inspired me to understand the interconnectedness of all life. My name is Dr.SHIVA Ayurveda. I'm an MIT PhD, a Fulbright scholar, a scientist, technologist, and inventor. My family and I left India to come to America on my 7th birthday. As a 14-year-old, I began working as a full-time research fellow at Rutgers Medical School to unravel the mysteries of sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, and created the world's first email system long before I ever heard of MIT. As I traversed academia over the next 3 decades, I observed self-serving academics, never solving real problems, writing grant after grant, competing for tenure, while diminishing real science and real scientists, pushing a reductionist science to destroy the scientific method. Like the blind men who never saw the whole elephant, but the parts, they delivered a dismembered view of reality. I observed Big Pharma use such reductionism, wasting billions year after year to fund research in test tubes, killing animals, and using the poor as guinea pigs for clinical testing to create products that even the FDA no longer allowed. Not only Big Pharma practiced this reductionism, but also the elites of Big Vitamin, Big Green, and Big New Age, with gurus and yogis, empowered by Hollywood celebrities, selling one supplement after another based on a cherry-picked science. All that changed in 2003 when the Human Genome Project ended, revealing that humans have the same number of genes, about 20,000, as that of a worm, giving rise to a systems biology. We realized that one-size-fits-all medicine was a failure. We realized their medicines were killing us, making today's generation's lifespan shorter than any previous generation. Obesity, heart disease, deaths from adverse reaction to drugs, confusion on what diet, what supplements, and who to believe is what they have delivered you. They push natural and organic products for your beauty and wellness, while their real solution is their plastic surgeons and Botox. We've been sold out. It's time for real science, a system science that interconnects the parts to discover truth, to know what really works, to get the health we need and deserve. This is why I created Cytosolve. Cytosolve is about truth, freedom, and health versus power, profit, and control. Cytosolve is a revolutionary technology integrating bioinformatics, computational biology, mathematical modeling, decentralization to reveal the truth. Cytosolve computes trillions of potential combinations of biomolecular interactions to discover what actually works based on the actual science. No reductionism, no cherry picking. Cytosolve's predictive modeling has been proven accurate time and time again, matching laboratory results. Cytosolve discovers synergistic combinations of compounds to maximize health and reduce toxicity. For example, we know curcumin from turmeric and resveratrol from red grapes alleviate inflammation, but how much should we combine? Current methods are hand-waving at best. Here, with Cytosolve, we first model the control condition with no curcumin and no resveratrol to simulate high inflammation with the cytokine level at 0.15 micromolar. Next, we add just 5 micromolars of curcumin. The inflammation drops to 0.05. Next, we use 5 micromolars of resveratrol and the inflammation inflammation drops from 0.15 to 0.06. But when we combine curcumin and resveratrol of 3 micromolars of curcumin and 2 micromolars of resveratrol, inflammation drops from 0.15 to 0.03, far lower, nearly 200% less than just one compound alone. That's the synergy principle of system science. We've all had enough of their fake and reductionist science. They think we'll simply keep buying their marketing, their celebrities, and their products that can never truly heal us. We don't need them. Great things come when we integrate the best of things. It's our time. It's time we delivered solutions for ourselves. It's time for truth, freedom, and health. It's time for Cytosolve. Welcome.
So the reason I wanted to play that is Cytosolve is what emerged out of my PhD work, but it's based on the exact same systems principle. So you can use Systems Health as the educational program, which led to Truth, Freedom, and Health, which comes from the science of everything. Cytosolve goes the other direction at the molecular systems level, and we've built a whole platform over the last 16 years where we are discovering new medicines without the need to kill animals. And one of those medicines is a very powerful product called MV25. In fact, I'll be talking about it this week. We just have a major paper that was just published in one of the leading journals showing our discovery and proving the synergistic effect. But as I close this evening, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll talk about that paper. It's going to be published any day today. We just got it accepted. But MV25 is a product that you can take that emerges from these systems principles. So you can understand we can go at the microscopic level, at the macroscopic level, at the level of the body. So the future of the world is going to come from those who want to study the knowledge of systems, the future of your own health, the future of everything inside and outside of you. So I have nothing else to say except to say that you have a unique opportunity to truly become your own healer and your own guru and to become accountable for yourself. That means that you're going to have some self-respect. That means you're going to have to walk the walk. And most people want to outsource their stuff to others. You know, in the alternative healing world, I would say the chiropractors, for example, do see the body as a system. Okay. This is going to help people like that. The naturopaths do. This will help them in a different way. Surgeons, believe it or not, actually understand the body more of a system than the general practitioner. But even in the medical world, this knowledge will help them. So wherever you're at, you can use the science of everything. Okay. So there you go. Let me finish up this video on MV25. It's a very practical tool that we created because we have now modeled all these major molecular systems. Have a good evening.
Millions of people suffer every day from painful discomfort and swelling, but most pain medications come with harsh side effects, and many alternative supplements have little scientific backing. That's why we at Cytosolve created MV25. MV25 was formulated using the Cytosolve Computational Systems Biology Platform, a technology for precision and personalized health invented by Dr. Shiva during his doctoral research at MIT. This formulation is the result of computing trillions of potential combinations of biomolecular interactions derived from thousands of peer-reviewed scientific papers published across 4 decades by 68 research institutions to discover an optimal synergy of compounds that downregulate biomarkers of discomfort and normal swelling.
Hi, I'm Barbara Ann. My hands would cramp up so that I couldn't hold cards or knit or crochet, and they would go like that. And I'd have to use this when I played cards with my grandkids. And I started taking that MV25. After a bit, I was able to hold cards in my hand, very, very little cramping, hardly at all anymore. MV25.
Hi, my name is Sandy. I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I tore my ACL during Taekwondo. I had a lot of pain and limited mobility. I've been taking the MV25 for about 6 months now. After the first week, I noticed a big difference. After the second week, almost literally no pain.
My name is Jeremy, and I suffer from a lower back problem. Hurt my back at work years ago, and I can go to the chiropractor, do all kinds of different things, and nothing seems to help. And I decided to try MV25. I didn't notice a difference immediately, but within a few days, the pain went away, and it stayed away. I've continued to take it, and even when I do things that I shouldn't do, it seems to go away a lot quicker than it ever did before.
MV25 is certified clean, 100% non-GMO, made in America, and GMP certified for good manufacturing practices. MV25 is CytoSolve optimized, which means that this formula has been engineered to maximize benefits while minimizing toxicity based on current research curated by CytoSolve. As the science advances, so will this formulation. This is our promise. Order online at mv25.life. Consult your doctor before taking any supplement or medication and use as directed. MV25.
All right, everyone, I hope that was valuable. So you now have the choice to want to take on and learn the science of everything at truthfreedomhealth.com, and it's really up to you. And again, those of you who are interested in coming to our open house every Thursdays at 11 a.m. and at 8 p.m. EDT, go and RSVP at vashiva.com/orientation and join us. You'll meet some amazing people. You'll get inspired, and you'll get out of any type of desperation or division. If you want to be in the left or right camp, all that will melt away, and you'll see that there's a different option. So anyway, be well, be the light, and I'll see you shortly.